YouTubers, it's me, Zipster. Okay, I wasn't going to talk about this, but what the hell, why not? Okay, Christmas Eve, a couple of days ago, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sitting in Stick Island with my old bunch, like I always do, and the phone rings. I pick it up and I hear, "Would you be my gay boyfriend?" I'm like, oh my God. I said, "Is this Renetto?" He's like, "Yeah, hi, how you doing?" I'm like, I never talked to Renetto before in my life, okay? So yeah, there's Paul Robinette on the phone with me. And I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" And we just start talking about shit, and he bitched at me for stealing his "thank you," you know. And I said, I'm sorry, you're never getting it back. He abandoned the character. I took the "thank you." Sorry, excuse me, goodbye. But we must have talked for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Of course, we talked mostly about YouTube, because YouTube is a very important part of Paul's life, and YouTube is a very important part of my life. And when it finally boiled down to everything, we were talking about and thinking about all the new people who are coming on here, you know, because YouTube is blown up into this mega site. And wow, it's so different from when Renetto and Boheme and Loloka and Lisa Nova and all the early ones, you know, when we all came on here, it wasn't that hard to make some kind of impact. I mean, I started out, as I've told you a million times, just making responses to Renetto videos where I was just this whacked out character, geez. And you know, I've changed a lot since then, because I was just reacting to him. I mean, if you never saw, you gotta look. I don't even know if he has it up anymore. He did this thing where he had tinfoil all over his head. I saw that and I'm like, that's it, I'm sold. So, anyway, so yeah, it was a lot easier to get noticed back then, because there weren't a bazillion people, and there wasn't NBC and CBS and Universal Music and Oprah and the Queen of England and all this crap on YouTube back then. It was just people doing stuff, you know. And we were talking about how hard it must be for all the new people coming on here trying to get noticed, because I mean, God, there's just so many people doing so many different things and so much great stuff that, man, I'm lucky I turned on to this stuff when I did, or I'd be left in the dust. But yeah, you know, there's still going to be some big stuff coming, and it might be coming from a very unlikely place. I'm not at liberty to talk about anything, but man, this has been a hell of a year for me. And yeah, I'm going to be making a little New Year's video for you in the next day or two. But I just wanted to come on and tell you, man, Renetto called me on the phone. I thought that was so cool, you know. Oh, meanwhile, yeah. So I'm in my stick-on room, and they're like, "Who are you on the phone with?" And I said, "I'm on the phone with Renetto." And they're like, "Shut up." And I'm like, "No, I am." And then Nutcheese types me a little private message. She said, "Tell him I think he's a tool." So I'm like, "Hey, Renetto, I just got a PM. Do you remember Nutcheese? She's the one that was walking around in San Francisco with a blow-up North style." And he's like, "Yeah, I remember her." I'm like, "Yeah, she just said you were a tool." Hey, yo, he got the biggest laugh out of that, let me tell you. Okay, so everybody, just checking in with you today, like I always do. And hey, Paul Robinette, Renetto, if you're watching, hey, how you doing, buddy? And for everybody else, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Stole that from Renetto.